Hi, this is Tyrone and welcome to another edition of The Agent. This week's episode is titled Death on the Catwalk. Every young model dreams to make it in fashion. I decide to walk the catwalks of Paris, Milan, New York, and London. But what happens if you're barely a teenager, blessed with such great beauty, and given an opportunity to be the hand that feeds his or her village? Such is the case of many young models that's gone through the revolving doors of fashion, being the sole breadwinner for their families. In 2017, a 14-year-old Russian model from Siberia, who had been modeling since the age of 12, was on a 3-month contract assignment in China to walk the shows at Shanghai Fashion Week, photo shoots for catalogs, magazines, campaigns, etc., part of her contractual agreement. But what happened afterwards could have been prevented or avoided, especially by those that were entrusted to take care of her. You see, a few days after the fashion shows ended, she had started complaining of not feeling well. But she was booked for a photo shoot in another city 300 kilometers away, traveling by train or by herself. But after a 13-hour first day of shoot, totally exhausted, she called her agent to let them know that she was not feeling well. So they canceled the next day's bookings and had her take the train back 300 kilometers again, all by herself, a total of 600 within a 24-hour period. But back in Shanghai, her sickness got worse. She was taken to the emergency room, but without any health insurance, it took a few days before she was admitted to the ICU. Sadly, by the time she was admitted there, she fell in a coma and died, alone without her mom. It was reported that she died from multiple organ failures, but according to the Daily Mail newspaper, meningitis and exhaustion. At a press conference, her agent, quoted by the Daily News in China, "We wish that she can have no pain in heaven." They continued, "No one expected it to lead to such consequences. We are now reaping what we sown." You see, most of these young models' sole aim is to help their families. But at what cost? Centuries ago, a different kind of tragedy happened to a young model. The story of Joseph, a beautiful male model himself, was part of the agency called Jacobs. Well, not really a model agency. Well, that's the name of his father. You see, Jacob had 12 sons, but Joseph was his favorite. Jacob had one of the designers at that time, not Dior or Chanel. They came centuries later to create a coat of many colors that distinguished Joseph from his brothers. But his brothers envied him and plotted to kill him. They killed a wild animal and put blood on the coat that his father had made for him and told his father that he was killed by wild animals. But what they had actually done was sold him off to be a slave to fashion in Egypt, doing hard labor, possibly. One can only imagine how broken his father Jacob was when he was told that his beloved son Joseph was killed. His brothers lied to cover up what they had done. But unlike Jacob, who was told a lie, the young Russian model's mom had to hear the news back in Siberia that her beautiful daughter died alone in a country not her own. One can only imagine her daughter's cry in the final hours of her life. A cry for her mom, a tragedy in the making. In the end, her death prompted changes in the fashion industry, with many top fashion houses implementing age restrictions on the models they use. In some countries, the minimum age is 16 and in others 18, a necessary change from a sad ending. Until next time, may the peace of Christ rest on you, and may you always trust the greatest agent ever lived, Christ Almighty, God Himself. And as always, Shabbat Shalom. God bless you. Have a great weekend. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.